Very good morning, class. Class, today we are going to begin the second chapter of geography, which is physical features of India. In this chapter, we are going to study in details the physical features like your topography, mountains, plains, plateaus. So, all these things we are going to study in this chapter. Now, let's begin with the chapter. So, class, the land of India displays great physical variation. Class, we know that if we look in the map of India, we will see great physical variations. Variations in the sense we have different types of mountains, plains, plateaus. Talking in terms of geologically, we have variety of landforms. Okay, it can be a peninsular plateau, mountains, desert, islands. So we have a variety. Now, the peninsular plateau constitutes one of the ancient land masses on the earth's surface. So your peninsular plateau was one of the oldest, or you can say ancient landmass on the earth's surface. Okay, and it was supposed to be one of the most stable land blocks. So your peninsular plateau is one of the oldest or ancient land masses in the earth's surface, and it is supposed to be stable. Okay, now talking about the Himalayas and the northern plains, they are the recent forms, okay, of landforms. See, in the sense that your peninsular plateau is way older if we compare with Himalayas and the northern plains. Okay, and these are from your geology point of view. Okay, and the Himalayas are mountains which are not stable zone, which is an unstable zone, and we know that life living in Himalaya is not possibly because it is not stable. In the sense, you can have landslides, you can have earthquake there, so life is not practically possible to live there. Now, talking about the next, the whole mountain system of Himalaya represents a very youthful topography with high peaks, deep valleys, and fast flowing rivers. So, class, Himalayas are not one mountain, it is the entire range of mountains, and they represent very youthful, very young, as we just talked about that, very youthful topography with high peaks. We know that Himalayas have high peaks and deep valleys with fast flowing rivers. Now, the northern plains are formed of alluvial deposits. Class, in the earlier classes we talked about the types of soil. So we know that the northern plains are formed by different types of soil, and among them is your alluvial deposits, which is formed in the northern plains. And the peninsular plateau, okay, is composed of different types of rocks. It is of igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, okay, with gently rising hills and wide valleys. So we can say that your peninsular plateau is made up of different rocks. Okay, example, your igneous rocks and metamorphic rocks with gently rising hills and widely valleys. Now, talking about major physiographic divisions. So physiographic divisions means the different landforms. So in India we have different types of landforms, okay, and which are as follows. Number 1, we have the Himalayas. Number 2, we have the northern plains. Number 3, we have the peninsular plateau. Number 4, we have the Indian desert. Number 5, we have the coastal plains, and number 6, we have the islands. So we have basically 6 physiographic divisions, okay, which is there in India, and we are going to begin with the Himalayan mountains. We are going to discuss about the Himalayan mountains are geologically young and structurally fold. So in terms of geoway, in terms of their structure, they are fold mountains, okay, stretch over the northern borders of India. If we look in the map, class, they are stretched towards the northern borders of India. Okay, now these mountains runs in a west and east direction. So the direction in these where the Himalayan mountains ranges run is west to east, okay, from the Indus to the Brahmaputra. Now the Himalayas represent the loftiest and one of the most rugged mountain barriers of the world. See, loftiest means they are very strong, very giant, and rugged, they are very harsh. They protect us, okay, from the world, and they cover the distance of 2400 kilometers. So you can see that the Himalayan mountains are very giant, they are very sharp, okay, plus they protect us from the world as they act as a barriers, okay. Now furthermore, they cover the entire distance of 2400 kilometers. So you can see that they are stretched in a very wide way, okay. They cover a huge distance of 2400 kilometers. Now talking about their width, okay, if we talk about their width varies from 4000 kilometers in Kashmir to 150 kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh, in the sense that in Kashmir they are very broad, okay, and if we talk in Arunachal Pradesh, they become narrow. So their width varies from place to place. In Kashmir it is 400 kilometers and in Arunachal Pradesh it is 150 kilometer. Now if we talk about the height, okay, though the height in the east side of, if we talk in the directions of east, okay, is greater than in the west. So if we talk in the terms of peak, in the terms of height, the Himalayas have more height, or they have they have big peaks, okay, in the eastern direction as compared to the western direction. Now Himalayas consist of 3 parallel ranges, okay, and we are going to talk about that. Now a number of valleys lie between these ranges. The northernmost range is known as Great or Inner Himalayas or the Himatri. So this is one of the first parallel range that lies towards the northernmost range, and it is known as Inner Himalayas or the Himatris, okay. So this is the first range of Himalayas. Secondly, it is the most continuous range, consisting of the loftiest peak with an average height of 6000 meters. It contains all prominent Himalayan peaks. So class, it is a continuous range. There is no gap, means it is totally continuous, and it consists of the strongest peaks and whose average height is 6000 meters, plus it contains all the major most important peaks of Himalaya. So class, please make sure that you read the introduction, first 2 pages of second chapter of geography, watch the video and submit your work on time. Thank you.